All right, guys, here we are working on the new questions in the slopes and lines handout. So these were questions 8 and forward from what we saw today. So the first one I'll open up is, interestingly enough, questions 8 and 9. And these ones, when you know how to do them, these are super easy. But I sometimes run into people not really sure where to start. So the question says, find the coordinates for the point on the line y equals 3x plus 2 that has an x-coordinate of minus 3. So you got to say to yourself, all right, what am I trying to figure out here? And really, it helps to think and visualize this, right? So let's say you've got your y-axis and your x-axis, and you know that, well, really what I'm trying to do here is figure out that somewhere I've got this line here, y equals 3x plus 2, which would look something like this, more or less. And I'm trying to figure out when x is minus 3, somewhere around here, what is the y-coordinate going to be? And you might say to yourself, well, I'm kind of eyeballing that this is my y-intercept here, and this is 2, and then I got to kind of count backwards. But it's actually much simpler than that. You just use your equation here. And this is one of the things that's really handy about using an equation. It's like a machine that spits out the answer for you in a question like this. You know that y equals 3x plus 2. What that means is that whatever x is, if you multiply it by 3 and then you add 2 to that, that'll give you the y. So if you know the x you want to know about is minus 3, just say to yourself, let me do y equals 3 times minus 3 plus 2. That's really what you're doing here. Let me type it up. Y equals 3 times minus 3 plus 2. And this will work for whatever x you want to put in there. Here it's telling me I got to find it with the x-coordinate of minus 3, so I put in minus 3 there. All right, now I just got to simplify this, right? If you forget about the y, this isn't even algebra. I just do 3 times minus 3, which is minus 9, and then I add 2 to that, which gives me minus 7. So my y here is actually equal to minus 7. And once I know that y is minus 7, and I know that I started with an x of minus 3, then I already have the coordinates there, just like that. X is minus 3, and y is minus 7, and that's the answer to my question. Find the coordinates for the point on the line y equals 3x plus 2 that has an x-coordinate of minus 3. I got an x-coordinate of minus 3, and I got a y of minus 7. If you look here, right, minus 3 minus 7, that's right around here. Looks like we do have the right answer. Same thing for this one over here. It's exactly the same type of question, except now I have a different equation to work with. I've got y equals 2/3 x minus 5, and I know I'm looking for the point that has an x-coordinate of 6. Right? So if y equals 2/3 times 6, that's an x-coordinate of 6 minus 5, let me just calculate what y is. Right? I'm going to rewrite the equation, except instead of putting an x in there, I'm going to put 6. Oops. And I got to take away 5 at the end, I think, if I remember what this is. Yeah, y equals 2/3 x minus 5. So y equals 2/3 x minus 5, but x is going to be 6, so y equals 2/3 times 6 minus 5. 2/3 times 6, that's going to be 4. I could think of this as 6 over 1. 2 times 6 is 12. 3 times 1 is 3. 12 over 3 reduces to 4 over 1, which is just 4. Or I could just think of it, well, what's 2/3 of 6? If I have 6 people and I want to talk to 2/3 of them, I want to talk to 4 people. All right. Either way you do it, 2/3 of x is 4. Sorry, 2/3 of 6 is 4. And then I do 4, which I just figured out here. Y equals 4 minus 5. And that part's going to be real simple. 4 minus 5 is just going to give me that y equals negative 1. Since I figured out that y equals negative 1, and my x was 6, then the coordinates for this point are 6 for the x, minus 1 for the y. There's your answer. And let's think about, if you look at this line, what this looks like, right? If you visualize it on the Cartesian plane, I've got my y-axis here, and my x-axis here. And I know that this line has a y-intercept of minus 5, so that means it's kind of, I can think of it as starting somewhere down here. And 2/3, positive 2/3, that's a slope that's going upwards but not very quickly. So that's going to be a line that looks something like that. And right down here is minus 5. So when x is 6, I'm right here at minus 1, that looks about right. So my answer here, I like it.